All right, you can hear me. Ignore the birds. It's like 7 a.m. I am cosplaying as the girl on my shirt. Can you see? Because Hot Topic never called me back, so they don't want to hire me. It's like 7 a.m. and I have to be up for work in a few hours, so I figured I have a ton of new subscribers every time I get on here, and a lot of you guys really liked that first video I made about the alt space, the alt community, and why I left. So I'm making a part two, which is so you want to be alternative, why I came back, all that fun shit. It's a beautiful, spooky, gloomy morning. Hopefully you can hear the wind chimes because that's kind of charming, I think. But let's get into it. So basically, you're here because you want to dress alt, you like dressing alt, whatever your prerogative is. Welcome. Today, I'm talking about what that's like. So, to clarify, I have been dressing alternative on and off since I was a kid. I said that in my last video. If you haven't watched it, it's called like the downside of being alternative or the negative side of being alternative. I'm talking quietly because there's a child sleeping in the room next to me. Noticed a pretty heavy uptick in people complaining about being made fun of for dressing alternative, which is awful and shitty. Um, but the first thing that I really wanted to address is looking like this, it's gonna happen. Like, I remember watching this video where this girl said that she never remembers getting made fun of before for dressing alternatively, but now it's been like a lot. And to be honest with you, that is not my experience. Ever since I started getting into this shit in middle school, people were making fun of me like, you get made fun of. And I want to clarify something here. I'm not saying that that is okay or that is a fun part of this. It's not. It's one of the worst parts of this, but it is something that I feel like anyone who is stepping into alternative fashion, even if it's not emo or scene or goth, any alternative form of fashion, you stick out like a sore thumb and people are going to call you out on that. People are going to make fun of it. It is like a tale as old as time, as far as I can remember from my experience. People love making fun of it, and I can tell you some of the reasons I think that is. And the first thing I'll really say is just honestly, like, basic bitches be boring. Like, I don't know how else to tell you this, sweetheart, but basic people, when they see people stepping out of the norm, like, if you're not following the norm, for a lot of people, that's like immediate permission to, like, okay, I'm gonna clown on this motherfucker because you look different. Like, it is just a piece of the pie that comes with it, in my experience. Again, doesn't make it okay. Definitely a factor. Definitely something that you do have to deal with. I'm bringing a little bit closer so you can hear me a little bit better right now. Very common. It has happened for as long as I can remember. If I'm being honest with you, I don't get made fun of too much as I get like the weird stares and things like that. Like, that's been something that's been happening to me ever since I was young. When I was a kid and I discovered fashion, I already knew that that was something that was going to be like a passion of mine ongoing for the rest of my life because it's really fun to dress up. So that's why we do it. But a lot of people, especially when you're in like a little bit of a darker aesthetic, a darker, like, you look a little bit more rock and roll or whatever they'll say. And in your mind, you're very fun and you're very quirky and you're just expressing yourself to other people, that can come off as like threatening in a weird way, which I find hilarious because I'm covered in like bow tattoos and pink and like rainbow bracelets, but apparently that's threatening to some people. I lost my train of thought because I had to step away. Anyway, what I was saying is it's weird to a lot of people. And especially when you're in like this sphere of the internet, a lot of things tend to be more normalized, especially when we have algorithms today. Like, you have everything that is in your interests. Like, if you're a furry or if you like sports, everything in your interests is like in this little sphere of entertainment. But when you step out of your home and you go into public, you find that it doesn't really work that way in the real world, depending on where you live. If you live in a really cool place, maybe you're lucky, but around here, you look like an anomaly. And that's something that you kind of just have to accept. You have to accept that you are going to get stared at. People possibly will take pictures of you. People will possibly approach you. I would say, if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say I was going to originally say about 70, 80 to like 20% positive, negative, but I kind of lowered that down a little bit. I'd say 60% of the time when people approach you because of how you look or your aesthetic, it's in a positive way or a curious way. They just want to know more. They just want to like see what you're about. And then the other percentage, the I'd say 30-40% of the time, it is not the greatest. And people making fun of you. I've heard about people saying like wrist check to people in public, which is not something I've ever experienced, not since high school, which has been a long time. I've been around for a long time, and that's why I'm like talking about this, you know? But basically, what I'm saying is, when you outwardly express yourself in any way, you are going to have times where that comes up. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, in a perfect world, we could all just like dress like video game characters and everybody could just walk around and like mind their own business. But that's not the world we live in. So, this is where we're at. That's a major part of it. You are making yourself stand out. You are making yourself look unique, and part of it is, I'm not saying like you have to accept people being cruel or people bullying or anything like that. Nobody should ever. My hair is stuck to my eyelashes. This happens every time. If you have a hack for not, if you have a hack for not getting your hair stuck to your eyelashes, let me know. But it's just something mostly you have to be willing to accept that it could happen. There's not much you can do about it. And I think that's important for people to know, because a lot of people, I think, are discouraged from looking the way they want to because they don't like the attention. People think you dress like this for attention. Believe it or not, you just enjoy doing it. It's not always fun and it's not always a pleasant experience. Sometimes it is really annoying, and sometimes I just dress basic as hell to go to the grocery store or whatever because I don't want to deal with it. It's part of it. That's not to say compliments aren't always welcome and awesome. Usually most of the compliments I get are from women and kids. Kids love alternative people. It's crazy. They love seeing people dressed up. I think that it makes them really excited for their future, and they love seeing people that they want to dress up like when they get older. But in reality, see, like right now, I am super shy, and my neighbors are all coming out because I live around a lot of seniors. And I'm like, keep pausing the video and stopping and seeing if my neighbors can see me because I don't want to draw any attention to myself. And then I just fucked up my necklace that I've had for 2 days, but it's whatever. We're gonna keep on going. So that's one of the major things, is just you have to be, it's like, if you want it or not, it's a really fun and like fulfilling thing to express yourself and dress the way that you want to, but you gotta understand that part about it is like people gonna stare at you, and I'm still not used to it. I am still not used to that, because it's like you be in line at the grocery store and not even dressed to the nines, just like in line at the grocery store. Maybe you got a band tee and some skinny jeans on, and it's just like, and it's just like, bro, can we personal space? But that, my friends, is not the world that we live in. And don't get me wrong, I don't say that to deter anybody. I say that because I see a lot of people being like bullied out of the alternative space, and it's like this is a part of it. Being online in this like perfect dome of curated content makes you think you go out into the world and it's just accepting, but it's not like that, unfucking fortunately, and it sucks. But if you love it enough, it could be worth doing. It's really up to you. Sometimes it's really awesome, and sometimes it's really overstimulating. That is another major part. I won't talk too much about that because I don't want this to be like a complaint video, but just like all of this, sometimes it's just too much and you just don't want to do it, and that's fine. But the other major thing that I really wanted to discuss, hold on, my neighbor's about to drive past. So why do I look like this in the first place if it's just like, attention? And the answer that I could probably give best is that I'm mentally ill and I have a lot of special interests, and this I would classify as one of the biggest ones. It's kind of my life. It kind of has been for a long while. I was just a little too shy to do it until it started becoming popular and in the scene again. There's a lot of people out there I respect who were like solid emos for life. I'm not going to mention any names because we don't do that here, not that way at least, because some of them are problematic. But anyway, girl, why do I look like this? I mean, why do people like football? Why do people have special interests in trains? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of neurodivergent people out there really are drawn to alternative fashions and like to dress really differently. And I'd love for that to be more accepted. It just unfortunately isn't. But that would be the main reason that I do it. I became obsessed with like old fashion, goth, scene, emo, whatever you want to fucking call it, when I was a wee little child, and that obsession just never disappeared. And now, in the age of the internet, in the age of technology and TikTok and Instagram, which I'm really bad at, by the way, um, you can do it again and heal your inner child and have a good time. Like, I'm not old, but I was an OG scene kid, and I wasn't cool back then. And now I have like hundreds of people on the internet telling me I'm cool, and that's kind of fucking cool. But the sad part about it is I'm like, are they joking? Is this a joke? Is this an inside joke that I don't understand? Like, and are they for real? Because like you just grow up kind of getting used to the negative attention, the negative feedback, the negative all of that. New tattoos, piercings, shit like that. People always got something to say, don't they? They always got shit to say. And speaking of people always having shit to say, I wanted to talk about the second half of this video because it's already 14 minutes long. So, the other part of it is that if you're not being made fun of, if people aren't making fun of you, you have this whole other side of objectification, and boy, am I excited to get into that. Can you tell I get less anxious around the camera as time goes on? Because I can, and I'm working on it. But, so, you have those groups of people who like make fun of you, and you have those groups of people who like think you're really cool and want to compliment you, or they're curious. There is a third mysterious little fucking gremlin part of this. And that part is the grossest, grimiest, greasiest of them all, and it is people who objectify alternative people, okay? And I'm not gonna say who it is, what I'm not gonna say what sex it is, but it's men, and usually men, and they really just there's something about alternative women that they feel the need to hit on, catcall, objectify, sexualize, whatever it is you want to call it. Now, I have stated before that I am old and wise. I'm wise, an elder in the community, if you will. And the biggest struggle about it, the most annoying thing about it, is that men tend to think that I'm not that old, and so you get a lot of creeps. It happened before when I was dressing like this. It's happening now. And you might say, well, you're dressing all colorful and you got the bows in your hair and you look like a teen. What do you expect? I expect men not to be pedophiles. But I guess that's a little bit too much to ask from them, huh? Not all men, okay? Not all men, but a lot of y'all need to chill. You need to chill in the emo girls' DMs and chill in the comments and chill with the favorites because, like, Time and time again, I see it, and it's just like, I don't know what it is about a emo girl that makes 45-year-old men act the way that they do. As an older, like, adult, I don't get it because, like, granted, some people may think I'm younger than I am. I don't look 16. Maybe I look 16 to you, but I'm covered in tattoos. I got some wear and tear on the face. Like, it is what it is. But, you know, being in this space, kids should be allowed to be safe, and they just aren't. And I think that if you are a kid and you are in this space, especially if you're a young woman, really just protect yourself with like people you can trust, have contacts, and for the love of God, just don't fucking talk to random grown ass men on the internet, even if you think it's cool. Like, it's not, they don't think you're cool, they don't think you're special. They're just really creepy, gross, greasy old men with nothing to offer. Nothing. Nothing. They have nothing to offer you. Like, how many times have we heard about a content creator or the singer in a band or the drummer in a band or this so and so YouTuber who ended up being a creep? Like, it is rampant in this community, and I think it needs to stop. I think it's pretty gross, and I think one of the grossest things about it is like, you really pay attention, you've got those guys, you've got like the dudes in the scene, like, I was about to drop some names, but you know, like, think of some OG emo YouTubers out there who ended up being really nasty, fucking creepy dudes. Just think about them. And you have those. And then there's this little subsection too of like dudes who have never looked or been interested or dressed or done anything alternative in their lives. And we got those, and those come in droves, man. I don't know if it's because like it's the forbidden fruit or whatever it is, but those motherfuckers certainly love a goth girl, don't they? Like, I guess it's a secret fetish thing. I don't know. I personally enjoy being a little bit more, I hate the word modest, but I definitely enjoy being more wholesome and more like family friendly. I use heavy quotations when I say that. I just don't enjoy sexualizing myself. And I feel like, especially if you're young, you should not feel the pressure to do that. Weird assholes on the internet telling you to do that are the weird ones. You should definitely be able to dress how you want and express yourself in those ways, but you gotta be careful. Had to take another brief intermission because my cat was screaming at the back door, so let's continue. Yeah, I think, again, I think I said already, in a perfect world, we would be able to just, there's one of her hairs on my face, just from picking her up, dude, just from picking her up. I think in a perfect world, we would be able to do these things and just kind of be ourselves and kind of like look how we want, but that's not the way the world is anymore. Or that's not the way the world is. And you just got to be prepared for the not so great parts, the not so great things. There's a lot of weird fucking men out there. There's a lot of men out there who are gonna comment on your body and on the way that you look and say that you're cute and say that you're fun. And it's just better, in my opinion, to avoid it. Makes me feel better. I'm sorry if you're here to thirst over me. Wrong place, wrong place, man. Safe space all the way. Like, I feel like it's important to talk about. Nobody talks about it, and so many people keep saying to me, nobody talks about this. It's nice to see people talk about this. That's the reality. This isn't the most fun video subject, but I think it's important. The reality really is that people are gonna be out here treating you kind of like an object. They see you as an object, and sometimes they treat you as one. And I'm being real with you, this is all first world problems, obviously. It's just a style, but it's important to keep those things in mind, especially when you're younger and you do this. It's important to keep yourself protected, and it's important to stay the fuck away from creeps on the internet. I have many years of experience with this, so not just trying to lecture you here, just trying to be real. The age of the internet is so much more unsafe than it was when I was younger. It's ridiculous. Like, people can track you on Snapchat and shit, bro. That's insane. And I'm not like your other aunties. I'm a cool auntie. I know that kids are smarter than people believe and capable. So it's not that I don't think that people are capable of handling themselves. It's just like, in this world, especially when you want to like look a certain way, you're gonna get objectified, you're gonna get made fun of, you're gonna get questioned. It's a pretty big part of it if you look like this when you're going out. One solution, if you're really shy, if you have really bad social anxiety, just do it in your home. Just do it in the privacy of your home. You know, you don't need to cut your hair to get a little swoopy, comb over whatever haircut. And honestly, shags are super popular, so you could just like lie to people, if your parents aren't the most supportive, you just lie and be like, I just want a shag haircut like the 70s, mom, like, and possibly get away with it that way. Do TikToks, find communities online. That's what I've really been working on, and it's super amazing. I have a lot of supportive people, but I also have a lot of protective people who will take care of me and make sure that I'm not being creeped on by fucking creeps, and I take care of it. I don't read those inboxes, man. I don't really get too many. It's mostly comments, but an inbox from some random 45-year-old man, no, we don't touch that. We never open that. That is Pandora's box to forever be closed. And I think that that's pretty good advice. Like I said, just, if you can't be like this out in public, if it's not safe, if you don't feel comfortable, privacy of your home. Get yourself a Tumblr. Get yourself, maybe not that one, but do it where you feel comfortable. You can take pictures of yourself like this, and nobody ever has to see it. You can do this. It's like dressing up in your room for fun. Nobody needs to know. That's what I did for a long time. I started posting my pictures. I started like getting back into the groove and looking how I used to and healing my inner child. That's the really main reason I do this. I got a little off track with a lot of those things, but I did want to touch on that. The reason that I do this is for myself. Attention's nice and it is pretty niche for like a community on the internet, but I'm healing the kid that was traumatized back then in a fun way and a light way and happy, wonderful way. The scene and emo culture, there's so many magical, wonderful things about it. There is innocence there is fun, there is lighthearted happiness, but you do have to wade through a lot of shit in order to like embrace that in a safe and comfortable way. Like, there's kids on here who just want to have fun and just want to show their outfits and their cute little plushies and their makeup. And there's also adults on here who just want to have fun. I'm not about gatekeeping. I'm not about you're not emo if you're this, or you're because if you're an e-girl or what. I don't care. I do not care. I love the e-girl fashion. I incorporate it into my wardrobe. I've got about a million pictures of me with blush on my nose, and I got the freckles on right now. You're welcome. Goths, welcome. Grunge kids, I don't know if you want to be here, but you're welcome. Like, all encompassing. There's no gatekeeping here except for from gross old men and mean Karens who want to bully you. Like, that's how it is here. A lady said to me the other day, she said, well, to me and my husband, she's like, are you guys those, what do they call it, emus? And I thought that was so funny and cute because that hasn't happened to me since like 2009. Like, I was so blown away that she actually said that. And she was not making fun of us. She was so sweet, and she was asking questions, and she's like, well, why do you do it? Is it a music thing? Is it a fashion thing? And I was like, when I think about it, I just like to. It's literally as simple as I enjoy doing it, and it brings me joy, it brings me happiness, it brings me peace. It is my special interest, it brings me comfort. And at the end of the day, I think that that is worth getting made fun of, being called cringe. Like, okay, dude, I'm gonna make a whole other video on cringe culture, okay? This video is already way too long and kind of all over the place. On another note, look at these thin ass eyebrows. They're back in, and I am excited because, like, they be looking kind of cute. Anyway, um, yeah, I think that if you aren't alternative, you probably aren't watching this. But if you aren't, and you just want to look and cringe at somebody on the internet, and cringe at these alt kids, and cringe at these adults who are just trying to find the smallest and most minuscule ounce of like joy that they can in the world, I don't think they're the ones who are cringe, bro. I'm sorry. I don't think they're the ones who are cringe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy that we put, like, it's no different than high school, dude. I swear to God, Bowling for Soup was right, dude. High school never ends. It's like, cringe culture's dead. Do what you want to do, look how you want to look, but make sure you stay safe about it. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, make sure that you're protecting yourself, and make sure you're surrounding yourself with good ass people, okay? Because another super fun topic that I want to touch on is that people like to use creative people and people who dress maybe a little bit differently and people who look or act a little bit differently. We make damn good accessories, honey. We're cute, we're unique, we're a conversation topic, and I know that that sounds narcissistic as fuck, but I know it's true. And if you're like me, you know it is too, because that's how it is. We are great accessories, we're great inspirers, we're great, I was thinking about dyeing my hair crazy. I was thinking about getting a tattoo. I was thinking about getting a, you know what I'm talking about. Again, we don't gatekeep here, but you make a lot of friends who are like looking for some kind of advantage, especially if you're like a musician or you're an artist. There's a lot of times where people like to use you for their own self growth or their own little side mission in their story arc. So keep an eye out for that, because when you look like a fun little toy, people treat you like one. So stay up on that and make sure you are careful and you're doing what you want to do, and you're being a diva or fucking scene queen or emo, or you want to be trad goth, or you want to be a furry, just do that shit, and the rest of it is just gonna, it'll fall into place, you know? It's fallen into place for me. I have more subscribers than I ever thought that would even be possible. I have so many nice friends. I have such a nice community, but you gotta keep part of that community close and separate that from the broader community, because there are a lot of horrible things in it, but there are also a lot of amazing and wonderful and awesome people and things and super fun stuff to enjoy. So my next video will probably be about that. I also got a new emo wig, so probably gonna cut that on here. I'm thinking either tomorrow or Tuesday, because I have a lot of house stuff that I gotta do. I got some house maintenance, I got some painting I gotta do, I got some cleaning I gotta do, so if I can get to it. But it is red and black, and I'm super excited to show you guys, super excited to do it, and you can't do stuff without making content, and the train is coming, so I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I hope that you liked this video. I hope it helped you out. I don't know. Welcome all of the new subscribers. I fucking love you guys. It's insane. Every time I look at the number, I can't get over it. I don't know when it's gonna stop or how to get over it or how to get past it. It's crazy. If you like this stuff, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Ghost Story with a 0 in the Tory. Snapchat. I don't have that shit. TikTok. Ghost Story with a 0 in the Tory. That's me across all platforms. And I love you. Don't be afraid to be alternative as long as you're safe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.